I did something that I said I wasn't going to do, and that was sell one of my motorcycles. One bike that I purchased about 8 years ago was kind of a dream bike that I always wanted growing up. Was a 1985 Honda VF1000R. It wasn't very special back then in the day because it was heavy. It was relatively slow compared to some of the other super bikes out there. Or mostly it's because it was so flippin' heavy. And even Honda themselves came out with a VFR 750 in 86 that was produced more horsepower, weighed less, cost less, and it pretty much put a nail in the coffin of the 1000R. Look at this place, huh? So, gorgeous little back road in Princeton. We're going to cross into Westminster in a minute. So anyways, to a 16, 17-year-old kid back in 1985, when that big 1000R came out, I was in love. Like, I wanted that bike so bad, but it was expensive, and, I couldn't afford it. And I was learning how to ride, so I wasn't really ready for a big, massive bike like that. So I actually ended up buying the VFR 700, red, white, and blue, which was a nice bike. But I always said to myself, someday I'm going to own one of those 1000Rs. It reminded me of a bike that Freddie Spencer raced, and another little bike, Honda NS400R, which was a little two-stroke, but it was never imported to the States, so I never thought I'd be able to own one of those. So I said, I'm going to buy a 1000R someday. So fast forward to 2013. And I found one for sale, and I bought it. It wasn't in the best shape, but it was in decent shape, and it was a runner. So I finally had one of the bikes that I said that I would own. And what a better place to talk about an 80s super bike than riding my Triumph Explorer in the dirt in Princeton, Mass. Actually, I think I might be in Westminster right now, or if not, I'm pretty close to it. So I had the Honda. At the time, I had a couple other bikes, and I always said that I had to sell a couple bikes for some personal reasons back then, and I kept that Honda and I kept my yellow Ducati. And once I got through all that stuff I was going through, I said I'm never going to sell a motorcycle again. Fast forward a couple years, got some nice puddles we're going to go through. Hold on. Ooh, that was a good one. So, I'm not sure how much traction I got left on these tires. I hope I'm not pushing it. But the big Triumph is doing well here. All right, now I'm in Westminster. So, back to the Honda. I had the Honda, and I rode it a little bit. It was never perfect. It needed some work. And then I started buying more bikes. I bought a Ducati ST3. I bought this Triumph Tiger, and, which I'll do a full video on, I bought a Honda NS400R. Freddie Spencer replica. I'll put up a picture of it right now. There's a little short video clip of that Honda in my intro. So, unfortunately, the 1000R just kind of kept getting pushed to the back of the shop. I was riding the Triumph and the Ducatis almost every time I went out. When I went to shows or did little Sunday morning rides, I would take the little two-stroke out, and the Honda was just getting the big Honda. I decided that I should let the big 1000 go, and I put it for a very reasonable price. Not that I had to sell it, or I really didn't want to sell it, but I knew that it was just going to sit, and it was going to be expensive to get the thing running after sitting for a while. And I'm not into projects anymore. And I knew I probably just wouldn't make the time to play around with it. So I was hoping that I'd be able to sell it quick without doing any work to it, and possibly sell it to somebody I know, so I can kind of still keep an eye on it, I guess. And that's when my good friend Ken Roy, who is one of my New England rider buddies, decided he wanted it, and he came down and picked it up yesterday and helped him load it in the truck. And I gotta tell you that I kind of had seller's remorse, especially when he got there and he handed me the cash. I was thinking maybe I should keep this thing, but in the end, Ken took it. I know he's going to be happy with it. And he's got a bunch of bikes like me. He also likes to wrench on his bikes, which I generally don't. And I'm looking forward to seeing Ken put the thing back on the road and restore it. And so that means I'm down to 4 motorcycles. And I got some room in my garage, hype up, for something new. And I think I am going to go shopping for a motorcycle. So what I won't be buying is a project and something terribly old. I think I'm going to stick with newer bikes now. And what I would like actually is a smaller dual sport, like a TW200, XT250. I'll even consider a DZR 400 if I can find one that's lowered for my short little Frenchy legs. And I want something a little bit lighter. I can go into trails and do a little bit more hardcore dirt bike riding than with this big beast of a Triumph Explorer. So yeah, so my big Honda VF1000R is no longer in my garage. I had it for 6 years. I only put a couple thousand miles on it. And it was one of the most commented motorcycles. When I put a picture up on any social media site, I got a lot of comments on it because it's just it's a beautiful machine. Nobody does red, white, and blue like Honda. They are just beautiful motorcycles. They do such a good job with their red, white, and blue bikes. And I am going to miss that motorcycle. But thankfully, I do have another red, white, and blue Honda that I'm going to keep. And that bike, I can guarantee you, that little Honda NS 400R, I will never sell that. Unless something tragic happens in my life and I need a big bunch of money right away, which I don't foresee that happening. I hope it doesn't happen. But I don't think I will ever let that motorcycle go. That is a keeper. I did say that about the 1000R, and I let it go, but it's a closed gate. So we're looking for a little more dirt roads to explore on. And so, yeah, that's my short little video about my 1000R. If you guys, anybody had a bike that they wish they didn't sell, why don't you just leave me a comment, tell me what it was, show me a picture of it. I know we all have those things and those bikes on our lists. I've had more than my share of bikes that I wish I didn't sell. But that was one of them. And it's only a day. It's only been gone for a day. Damn it, Ken. Let's go explore. Not that one. That looks boring. That one over there I know goes up a nice rocky hill. This one runs parallel to that little road, but could be a little more challenging. So I'm going to shut the camera off and concentrate on what I'm doing. So thanks for listening to my little spiel about my Honda, and I'll see you guys in a bit.